Hi there, it's Natasha and thank you so much for joining me once again today. I am going to make this card pretty quickly here. This is not my design. I saw this card around and liked the look of it and was wondering how I could recreate it using what I already had and the dies that I already had. So this is kind of my best attempt to recreate a card. I've got two different reds here from the Nina collection, and I'm going to go with the darker red today. But obviously you could use any red cardstock that you have. These are just the ones that I had on hand. And I've cut it down just to leave, it was just a bit big. It was about a 1/8 of an inch border that I left. Anyhow, I have these, the set of frames that you can see on the bottom right hand corner, and I think there is maybe 4 or 5 to the set of these frames, and I've just got a piece of A2 4¼ by 5½ inch piece of Nina Solar White 80-pound paper there, and I'm just sort of turning the die around and putting it right at the very top. So I want this little edge part to go underneath Santa's belt. And it's really hard to see, but it's kind of got little stitched detail along the edge, which is really nice too. Then I need to create kind of the middle of Santa's coat, and as I said, I just have this frame die, so I'm going to cut out one main panel, and then after I've cut that out, I'm going to shift it across and make it skinnier, make it thinner. I just want it to go, maybe take off about 1/3 of the center of the card, so I'm kind of looking where I want my die to go. And what's good is that you don't have to worry about lining up the little waves of the frame, because the top of the frame we're going to be cutting off anyway, and the bottom of the frame will be hidden beneath Santa's belt anyway, so you don't have to worry about that, which is good. So I've cut it out here, and I've got my little piece that will go down the middle, and then from here I am going to get his belt buckle. So I've got a little stitched square die. Again, I didn't have any plain squares. This is thick kind of glitter cardstock, so you actually can't see the stitching at all, so it's just whatever you've got. And I used my scissors to put 2 little slits down the side so that I can thread the belt through. As you can see, I have some black cardstock, and this is literally just a scrap that was lying right there, and it's already got stickered adhesive on the back of it, actually, that black piece does. So I cut it a wee bit thick, and I just need to make it slightly thinner. This would probably be good to, if you use an X-Acto knife, to cut the little slits for the belt to go through. And then from there, it's really just piecing it all together. So as I said, I had some stickered adhesive already on the back of the black piece, so I'm just able to pull it off once I take it right off, pull it off and then thread it back through his belt buckle. And then from there, I'm just going to attach the little the wavy detail on the bottom and attach that again. I can just add it onto the sticker that's already there. And all of these pieces just need to be as wide as your red base piece of cardstock. So I did end up cutting a little bit off, I think. And then, as I said, the bottom would be hid by Santa's belt, and I'm just trying to get it somewhat even. Even though I do end up cutting off the top, which is fine. And so adding that on, again, it just stuck to the stickered adhesive, and then from here it's all very straightforward. So I just add some double-sided tape to the back of it and down the bottom. And as I said, this was all just made with dies that I had kind of in my stash, and that I think lots of people have available to them. And you can just look, you could use any kind of frilly pattern or different pattern for instead of the wavy die that I used. As I said, I was just using what I had available. So I stuck that straight down onto the card and then cutting off the little edge pieces. And then to create a couple of buttons, I have lost my smallest circle die. So I ended up using this bubble die, and that was fine. So I just cut it out of that same black cardstock that I had for his belt, and I used some little square foam dots to pop it up and stick them down, and then the finishing touch is a couple of white Nuvo drops in the middle of each of the buttons, and that finishes it off. On my original card that I made, I also put white heat embossed the sentiment Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.